Hello, what's up, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Daveye and Bwandwe show, starring yours truly. I am Daveye, and
I'm
Bwandwe. What is
yeah, I'm
going
Bwandwe.
on?
I'm Bwandwe.
We're here to introduce you to the new sub show of PLPT called the Daveye and Bwandwe show, which is we're taking small things that happened, or the small questions or whatnot, any sort of talking points that don't have to do with match days, and we're just throwing it out for everybody. Bwandwe, anything to add on?
Yeah, we'll just take like you know, probably this is one of the most controversial things we're gonna do, just using the topics. It'll be like hopefully arguing. I want to argue with Dave. But yeah, mostly just things that we might have missed, didn't cover, just debates. We'll do a lot of fun things on here.
Yep, this is
So
going to be the first of many, and in the future, this will be on live stream just for future purposes. Anyways, the first of a couple points. But bro, you're dead, aren't you?
a little bit.
Let's start off. Looking at this past weekend, specifically at the Manchester derby, Manchester United won by 2-0. Goals courtesy of Bruno Fernandes. But the real question, the goal scored, or the other goal scorer, Mr. Luke Shaw, or as a lot of my Man United friends out there, or a lot of Man United fans out there, are now calling him Shawberto Carlos. Is he the best left back in the league? What are you saying?
Is he the left? Well, okay. Let's see how you're asking that. I would say, like, are you saying best left back of the season, best in terms of quality? Because I think quality is too hard to say. Should we just say this season?
Yeah, I guess so.
So this season?
Yeah,
Well,
overall.
it's still a no. No, he hasn't been. Okay, no, he hasn't been. Sorry, he had one of the worst starts like of anybody in the entire season. I can.
But do you think he just needed competition? Alex Sellers brought in, at the very last day of the window. I mean, maybe that's what he needed.
Shaw is playing like the left back that Manchester United should have. Okay, I don't look. He's been really good as of late, but I still, to say he's been the best left back of the season is a huge overstatement. He's doing good defensively. Obviously, has showed offensive quality recently, but I mean, what are his stats right now? Here, well, yeah, maybe stats will shut me up. What is it?
In terms of assisting stats, I think he's like the sixth highest in the Premier League right now, in terms of assists of any players. I think.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that was the sixth highest left back. Like what?
No.
Horrible. Okay.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's been really good defensively. Just over the course of the season. I mean, Luke Shaw has just been all these guys been the guy at left back. I mean, for me, I honestly don't think it's biased to say that I believe Luke Shaw is the best left back in the league. I'm sorry, but let's look at left backs. In the past, I don't know, month or two or so. Luke Shaw. Let's look at some of the leagues, or let's take some of the league's left backs. So what were you saying? We'll take the other top five. So Andre, what are we saying? Are we saying Reguilon, Kieran Tierney, but he's injury prone anyways.
Because here's my thing. I think because I remember there was a while where Chilwell was really shining. I remember where he was playing really well, and Tierney
I
obviously.
think it was like in the first 8 weeks, and that we made our team of the season
Yeah,
from the first 8 match days.
yeah, that's right.
So I was in instead of Reguilon.
Yeah, that was somewhat of a prequel to this segment. But yeah. So I remember. I feel like a lot of the left backs this season have had just those periods where they've been really good. I mean, Tierney, as much as I hate to say it, had that period where he was just. I mean, probably the best player for a few weeks at Arsenal in terms of just
He's
showing
still
up.
playing well at the moment as well, Kieran Tierney.
Yeah, he's still really good. I don't think. Yeah, so I think every left back has had their moments where it's like they're shining or they're doing bang average or worse. Just depends on the scenario. Shaw, I thought he had a terrible start. Obviously, in recent weeks, he's been even pretty undebatably on social media too. Everyone's been praising the hell out of Shaw. But I think there's one left back for me that probably that we haven't mentioned, but I think he's shined as probably the most consistent. He ranks second.
If you say Andrew Robertson, I swear on my life, it better not be Andrew Robertson.
No. This
and
guy.
And better not be Reguilon either.
No, it's not. It's not. This left back, he has 10 assists this season, and that's Aaron Cresswell of West Ham. He's been really good. He's not talked about much, but honestly,
for a minute, how are you going to say like Zinchenko or like João Cancelo or some of that stupid crap? João Cancelo's a right back, it's not a left back. Just because City don't have a left back, that's like, oh, Joe, go play left back, because I have Benjamin Mendy, who likes be on social, who likes me on Instagram all the time, and I have Zinchenko. Honestly,
no, Cancelo. People really they love, the scouts love talking about him on fantasy, but he has 2 assists. I never got him. His offensive threat, Cancelo, is going to be one to look out for.
Yeah, I had Cancelo for a little bit. He was good for 2 games, and then he just was. Then he got me no points for 3 straight games. I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah, people check out Cancelo. He's okay, but he's not great. But yeah, for me, Cresswell has been really not talked about enough.
I mean, like Luke Shaw, both of them have been very similar in terms of positional sense. I mean, we've seen them both play in a back 3 at that left center back. We've seen that. But yeah, Aaron Cresswell's been very, very good. But would you say he's been more consistent than Luke Shaw? Because yes. I would have to say no.
Yeah, 100%.
Sure.
Shaw's 4 or 5 assists this season. I mean, Cresswell's doubled that. West Ham is really high and stable, defensively solid. So yeah, Cresswell for sure. I remember Shaw being very clumsy in moments. Granted, I've watched way more of United than I have West Ham, but I don't know. I just haven't seen personally Cresswell be that terrible.
Okay, well, I mean, fair enough. But I mean, West Ham. I mean, I know we've heard, a serious, aka the Psy guy, say West Ham aren't bound for top 4, but they're in 5th place at the moment, and they're really, and I mean, really, really, really knocking on the door. Absolutely. It could very well be a possibility at this point, because I mean, one thing we can say about West Ham, when it comes to the big teams, unlike Man United, they've showed up every single game. I'm not even going to get into the Mourinho disaster class, because I know someone doesn't like when I talk about Mourinho disaster classes. But yeah, West Ham beat Tottenham. I think we're the only top 6 sides. I think it's us, and did they beat City at the because I know they beat City in 2021, but did they beat City in 2020? That's what I'm trying. But regardless, West Ham have shown up against the big boys. They have 100%. They've definitely showed up against the top 6. I think they beat Leicester as well. I mean, they're a seriously good side, but the one thing they lack is depth. I do think they lack depth. In terms of their attacking options, I don't think they don't really lack that much depth. Not the striking position, because they're in dire need of a striker. Because one injury to Antonio, and they're more or less playing a false 9. But for me personally, Aaron Cresswell has been a huge part of that. But he's still not better than Luke Shaw, in my opinion. It's simple. And
do you think West Ham have the best double pivot in the league with Rice and Soucek?
I don't know.
Because they have a case for it. It hasn't really been talked about, but I think they have a case for it.
I mean, Manchester United have a world class double pivot of McFred, and McFred is extremely creative, and they're always surging forward and making good quality forward runs. I mean McFred is just unbelievable. I mean, he's way better than he's way better than that Hoiberg guy or that B Tech Pogba in midfield. Way better, 100%. It's got to be McFred.
Sure.
And for all those who actually think I'm serious, I am only joking. But Declan Rice and Tomas Soucek have definitely been one of the best double pivots in the league. Yeah, they're up. I would say they're up there. Um, um, I'd throw Wilfred and Diddy and Yuri Tielemans in there. Um,
It's true. They haven't gotten to play with each other much though, but it is.
um, would I say Højbjerg and Ndombele? Probably not because
No,
they haven't been consistent. Um,
no,
well,
they haven't
both
been
of them
very
have. No,
good.
no. To be fair, both of them have. It's just what's playing behind them, which is incredibly inconsistent.
Yeah,
Um, I, I don't. I mean, as of right now, in terms of form, I would say they are. I mean, City don't play with a double pivot. Chelsea do with. I mean, but Tuchel's constantly retaining like Conte, Jorginho. Um, well, the one we see most under Tuchel is Jorginho and Kovacic, and yeah, Declan Rice and Tomas Soucek, as well as both those two have been in recent weeks for Tuchel. They don't come near Declan Rice and Tomas Soucek. So
yeah.
I 100% think um I definitely think that they're the best pivot in the league. Definitely. What are you saying?
Yeah, no, I think it's a I think I'll go right now for this season they have been. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Just like Luke Shaw has definitely been the best left back this season.
No. Let's move on.
All right, fair enough. On another thing or another point, Fulham have done it again to Liverpool, or no, not have done it again, but Liverpool have done it again to themselves. When I saw the team selection, I was really, really surprised, but at the same time, I wasn't because Liverpool have that game against RB Leipzig tomorrow in the Champions League, which I am absolutely praying RB Leipzig pull out a win. But I actually think they will. I actually think Leipzig are gonna turn it around. I mean, you only look at that first leg. I mean, Liverpool, they were given. I mean, let's be real. They were gifted the goals that they were given at Leipzig. They're. I mean, Upamecano and I think they're both Upamecano's gifts that like gifted Mane and Salah more or less one-on-one chances with the goalkeeper. If there's anything a goalkeeper doesn't want, it's either them barreling in on goal one-on-one. But anyways, getting back to Fulham. Fulham won the game against Liverpool. I think everybody was surprised. Everybody knows that they're contender to go down. But is this the start of a massive turnaround for Fulham?
The truth is, it is not the start because I know I after Spurs beat them 1-0 in a really tight game, when that was the only game since we've had the Bale Son Kane where we really had trouble was Fulham. I was like, I want to see what they've been, and we've been completely sleeping on them. That was their only loss since February 3rd. They've not lost since February 3rd until that Spurs match. Now they've gone up and beat Liverpool. So they've one loss since February 3rd. I want to keep repeating that because it's crazy for them to be in the relegation zone. And it's like, I mean, they're playing really well. Scott Parker's really got them playing. They look confident, and Areola is a world class goalie, probably not world class, but he's a great
Yeah,
goalie.
world class
Yeah,
goalkeeper.
yeah. I mean, so they've certainly got, and Joachim Anderson was really good against Liverpool as well. I think he had a really good game, but Fulham have got something. And while we wrote them off really early at the beginning of the season because they were horrible, definitely have a fighting chance right now.
Yeah, I mean they're only in the relegation zone because of goal difference with Brighton and Newcastle are right up in there.
Yeah.
Burnley are in there. I also of all the teams, I also feel like Burnley just deserve to go down. I don't know why. There's something about Burnley, and no, and I know if Sears were watching this, he's gonna say, "Oh, Davis is like Goldbridge because Burnley beat Goldbridge all the time in his career mode, and Goldbridge doesn't like Burnley." No, it's not that. I just don't like the way they play. It's just something about Burnley that just it really ruffles my feathers. I don't like Burnley, man. I don't like Burnley. I really don't like
Yeah,
Burnley.
I do. And it's fun to have them in the league. It's fun.
Well,
It's
true. Yeah, I mean, good point. I mean, getting easy points is always nice to have in the league. Um, yeah, but I mean, for me, I think Fulham could turn this around easily. Um,
On the form they're on, you'd back them too. It's they've been unfortunate in terms of other results lately, like around the grounds, but they've played well. They've played well.
Yeah, 100%. And into one of our last talking point. This past weekend, when Tottenham battered Crystal Palace 4-1, and if I don't mention Gareth Wills, you know the rest. You know, with 2 goals, and assists. I think you got an assist as well. He's now I can officially say that Andre's not overreacting when he says he's back. Gareth Bale's in tremendous form at the moment. He deserves all the bit of praise. He deserves all the starts that he's in at the moment. And for me personally, and because we're not person, but Harry Kane scored an absolutely brilliant goal against Crystal Palace that looked almost like a like carbon copy of that wonder strike from the guy who should be PFA Player of the Year in the Premier League against Everton. Wait, no. Who should be Player of the Year then? If it's not Bruno Fernandes, then who should get Player of the Year?
If Spurs finish top 4, then it should be Kane, 100%.
No, it shouldn't. It should not.
Dude, the Bruno's been spectacular, seriously, but Kane has beat him in stats. Kane is more all over the pitch despite playing up
They're
front.
not that far apart in stats.
No, they're very close. They're only that's why I think they're very tight. But in the end, I think if Kane helps guide them to a top 4 finish, then
yeah. But if they don't finish top 4, then it should be Bruno Fernandes. It should be Bruno Fernandes, and
it should be hotly contested. It should be between those two for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how. No, I don't know. I don't think Villa will do well enough for Grealish to get a shot, but he's also had a great season.
And we've heard and I just want to I just want to say a couple of names that you think that have been thrown into that PFA Player of the Year, and I just want to get your thoughts. Or one of the names is Ilka Gundogan. What do you think, Ilka Gundogan?
No, I think he's stepped up when he's needed to, but I don't think I mean, PFA Player of the Year. I mean, the competition that he's up against is just a class above everybody else. Gundogan isn't a class above everybody else. He's stepped up when he's needed to.
Yeah, definitely. I actually agree with that. And no, it's not because Gundogan was shit against the color that Manchester actually is right now at the moment. This past weekend, it's honestly because he's had like 1.5 very, very good months of football, and I'm not saying he hasn't been spectacular, but in terms of just like scintillating red hot form, Gundogan just no. I'm sorry. I mean,
I think he's been scintillating red hot form, but the others that are there, like, there's not even close. Like, no.
Luke Shaw should. If we're saying Gundogan is contesting player, then Luke Shaw should be in that same combo as well. If Gundogan is already in that combo, so should Luke Shaw.
He has 6 goals. Okay.
I'm not saying Luke Shaw should be during the conversation. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, if he's starting in that combo.
Okay. No.
As you can see, Bwandwe is not having any of it for Luke Shaw. Anti-Luke Shaw, Bwandwe. No, I'm just joking. Mo Salah, what are you saying?
No. He has their entire front three hasn't been productive enough to be considered one of the top. I don't even know where they rank in terms of like goals scored in terms of the entire league. I'm actually curious to find that out. But no, I don't. He's a world-class player, but no, I don't think he should be in there.
Yep, 100%. Liverpool fans, Aiden, sorry, but yeah, no Liverpool player should be even near this. They shouldn't be. I'm sorry. They're nowhere near it. there. I mean, um, and I mean, in terms of just the rankings, the whole world itself is closer, to getting out of this COVID-19 pandemic than any Liverpool player should be in the running for PFA Player of the Year. Honestly, like I'm not even joking. I'm like banter aside.
I think if we're gonna, how many options do you get? Do you get 6? Is that what it usually is, or 4 for the PFA nominees?
I think it's 6.
Okay, the 4 that for me should be for sure in there. Um, Fernandes, Kane, Grealish, Son. Those are the 4 that I think for sure should all get a shout. The other 2, we'll see who it is, but I don't think whichever other 2 it may be, probably don't
There are
get it.
2 others that I hadn't named yet. Both Manchester City players. Starting off with one, which of course will always be in the run-in, Kevin De Bruyne.
That's true.
He's
Yeah,
a different player, but for me, this is gonna sound very strange, but for me, for whatever reason, I feel like he lacks consistency. I know it's gonna
I mean,
sound very weird
no,
to say.
no, it's simply this season. He hasn't hit the heights that he did last season. That was,
Yes,
like, I think we all predicted him to. So no, this season it felt like. I mean, he's not at the end, but he wasn't. I don't think he's been as energetic and as whatever as good. And it's also might be because of the players around him. I don't think they have an established, really good front three. I think City is still a side that is finding goals elsewhere. I don't think they have like that main
yeah,
target
I've
man.
been finding goals through, playing a false nine and a false nine and wingers and their midfielders. And
I think
Gabriel Jesus just he isn't that convincing, to be honest with you, in my opinion. Tony Martial, in my opinion, is better than Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, I think they're both at a similar level for me. So I think that's a good debate actually. But I think if City get Holland, if they or just any really good striker, but if they end up getting Holland, then that's when you're going to see De Bruyne. I think right back at it, right back, and the old De Bruyne that we need, just dominating everybody. If De Bruyne, Gundogan, whatever it is, Foden still gets shots. So it's like, yeah, if they get Holland, then I think De Bruyne will be back. But he'll get a mention, but I still don't think he deserves it.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least, the last player, who in my opinion is a no, as good as he's been, Ruben Diaz. He's been very good for Manchester City, and nobody can deny that. He's been spectacular.
Yeah,
But to be real, Manchester City have not been, and let's be real, Manchester City, the first half of the season, they were absolutely awful. Defensively, they were horrible. I mean, Manchester City were highly exposable at the back. And it really wasn't until I think mid to late January where they found the consistency, and they've just gone off on that. And they went off on that 21 game unbeaten run. In my opinion, they're going to win the league. Unfortunately, they'll definitely win the league. But for me, that's why he's a no. Well, what about you?
yeah. That's what's sort of incredible about the City this season is that I don't think they've had one or two players that have stood out the most aside from like the ones we just mentioned. Like there's no complete star player, which is it's interesting. But yeah, I think Diaz will I don't know if he'll end up getting the nomination, but he deserves a consideration more so than Shaw.
As you can see, Andre is just anti Luke Shaw. He's anti Luke Shaw and he's anti Paul Pogba. He's anti good United players. Anyways, that is it for the very first episode of the Daveye Bwandwe show. Just a very, very quick recap. And leave your opinions down in the comments below. Is Luke Shaw the best left back in the league right now? Is Fulham on their way to a massive turnaround that could see them stay in the Premier League next season? Whose goal was better? Harry Kane's against Crystal Palace or Bruno Fernandes' wonder strike against Everton? And is Declan Rice and Tomas Soucek the best midfield pivot in the league? right now and possibly of the season? And who do you think should win PFA Player of the Year? If you enjoyed this, subscribe, leave a like, and follow our platforms. Links in the video description below. And wherever you are watching this in the world, please just have a great day slash evening. And for all the Man United fans out there, Manchester is red. Come
Hey, come on,
on!
Spurs. Come on, Spurs.